Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. Well, here we go again. It's starting again. I did a live stream and I was talking about this particular subject, and I decided that, I needed to do a solo video in regards to this subject. And it's like, here we go again. A lot of times in the boxing realm, when you hear certain talk, it means a certain thing. It's a code word. And it's a shame that Devin Haney already is being frozen out of getting some marquee fights, some fights that he needs. I mean, it's just starting again with him being frozen out. And the funny thing is, you starting to see some Devin Haney, deja vu, Andre Ward scenarios, some comparisons. Devin Haney is a guy, he's committed to boxing. He go in there, fight, he do his thing, and he win fights. And it just like pisses me off what people are trying to do to him, where in the future you want to see fights with Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. But you heard Chris Mannix say, oh, well, Devin may not be marketable enough. If you're Ryan Garcia, when they basically was talking about a quote that Ryan Garcia said, well, Ryan Garcia isn't interested in fighting Devin Haney. He says, well, Devin Haney will just try to box him and all that kind of stuff. Well, you don't know what type of fight Devin Haney would fight if you don't try to fight him. And, you had these dudes being okay with that, where they're saying Ryan Garcia said, well, I'd rather fight somebody that have a chance of knocking me out with one punch. That seems more interesting instead of just being in a boxing match. Wow. Which that sounded kind of lame. That sounded kind of lame. That sounded weak. And then, one of the dudes was okay with it, Chris Mannix. Well, yeah, I can understand because, Devin Haney at this time, he isn't marketable. And, if you're Ryan Garcia, you rather would take the fight with Tank. Now, they work for DAZN, and they criticizing another DAZN fighter. Man, that remind me of HBO during the Triple G days. Like I said, they begged Andre Ward not to call out Triple G and not to fight him. And like I said, it's ironic that you got two dudes that's from the Bay Area. Basically, they saying the same thing. Not marketable enough. Like I said, I guess Devin Haney got to start holding up Glocks and all that kind of shit on his Instagram and clicking guns and talking hella crazy, disrespecting himself as a man. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what sells, right? Thuggery, right? So that's all we're perceived as, thugs, right? So that's the only way we can get people to come see us fight. I mean, if we, stay going to court, getting sued and all that kind of stuff, okay. Because that's what they was basically trying to say. There's always been that stigma. And that's what helped Floyd become Floyd, putting on the bad guy persona. And I hope I hope Devin doesn't resort to that. I don't want to see Devin resort to that. Because I met Devin a couple of times. He's a nice young man. And I just don't want him to resort to that. For real. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him resorting to that to draw fan interest. Now, the funny part about it is, if you're not a black fighter, you don't have to act that way. And like I said, that's a damn shame that you got other people that don't look like you trying to create your image and tell you how you supposed to be. This is the reason why hip-hop became what it is today and watered down and just toxic. Because you had a bunch of white boys who was from the suburbs of Idaho trying to be an A&R and come in there and tell these, or be an executive and tell these artists that's not really from the streets, yeah, man, you need to talk about killing people, you need to hold guns. They basically was creating a lot of these CV4X. Guys that never sold a rock in their life, guys that never bagged any weed, guys that never really owned any guns, guys that never really hung out on the streets, guys that were, guys that went to school, got it, educated themselves and were smart. And that's what they try to do in boxing. They try to CB4 Devin Haney. I guarantee you, if he started doing all that kind of stuff, talking hella crazy, posting videos of him with a joint in his mouth, yeah, people be talking shit. Devin Haney's a thug. Devin Haney's a thug. But then I guess that'll help him be able to sell tickets or be quote-unquote marketable. Like I said, man, the shit is sad, man. It's sad, bro. It's sad. And that's what I'm saying. It's always a different set of rules for us. And that's why I constantly tell y'all, don't tell me not to talk about racism and racial issues on my channel, because I already know what time it is. Like I said, the shit is sad. It really needs to stop. But this is just an ongoing thing. But nevertheless, it's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.